Hello there you, and welcome to a gigantic Tyranid swarm, which is about to attack this Death Corps of Krieg fort. Will the Kriegers be able to hold against overwhelming odds, or will they be assimilated into the biomass horde? As always, if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing, as that's the best way to support the channel. Now, let's get on with the slaughter. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off today's absolute slaughter. We've got our gigantic Tyranid swarm, just over 1 million strong, complete with Hormagords and Brood Warriors, heading straight for the Death Corps of Krieg fort right here. You can see that we've got plenty of Kriegers lined up on the wall already, starting to lay that firepower down right into the Tyranid lines. And we're going to get a charge from the conscripts. There we go. The conscripts heading forward, trying to block off a Tyranid horde. Man, good luck to them. They're definitely going to need it here today. But you can see our ruined and tattered fortress here. Exo cranes have bombarded the ever-living heck out of it. But we still have got plenty of troops here, ready and waiting to take up the mantle of defense. Let's go down to our front lines, though. Check out how our conscripts are getting on. Because, oh man, the poor fellas here are just being absolutely ripped open. The Tyranids here thanking the Imperials for this lovely little pre-starter meal here. Look at that swarmer. That's a lot of Tyranids that are currently heading towards this fortress. You can see, though, that the conscripts are trying to stop them. Give them Imperial guns a little bit of time to fire. But the Tyranids are just enveloping them ever so quickly. As quickly as the conscripts get to the front line, the ones at the front are just dying, being ripped open by insanely sharp claws. And the Tyranid swarm progresses forward, ladies and gentlemen, undeterred by the firepower and artillery that has currently been leveled upon them. The conscripts, though, they did their job. They bought a little bit of time here. But the defenders, but look at these now, just pouring in to the gaps that have been created previously. I wonder if they'll have enough here to completely surround the fort. That'd be quite interesting. But almost every single Imperial Guardsman now on the wall. I mean, just look at this. From a Krieger's point of view, that's kind of insane. But happy gas mask noises are abound as the shovels come out. The Tyranids trying to close into the breach here. And man, oh man, that is one hell of a lot of Tyranids trying to get into these tiny gaps. All around, you can see that the Tyranids now are trying to find any way they can into this fortress. The corpses are going to pile up high outside the fortress walls here today. Look, there's just a couple of these Kriegers stuck. Look at this guy here. So the AI can't actually path onto that little bit at the moment. So he's quite safe for now. Look at them. The Tyranids tried to get up there, but they couldn't find the purchase. Oh my god, there is a brutal assault on this front line. Brood Warriors trying to storm into the breach as the Kriegers hold it. Oh my god, that's a terrifying sight. Just these massive lumbering claws just every now and then come up to the front, and it just... oh, that is horrific. But you can see our defense is pretty solid all around here. Our conscripts still trying to funnel out, still trying to take on the Tyranid hordes, who are actually starting to envelop the defenses. They are pushing around the entire fortress now. Little by little, the Tyranids are doing it, undeterred by the limitations of the terrain at the moment. Look, you can see where they're having to funnel in. But luckily, for the guardsmen, they've only got these few breaches to defend. I say a few. There's holes in all the walls, man. But it's better than having no walls left at all. Tyranids pushing around this flank quite hard, actually, at the moment. Lots of Brood Warriors coming in. The occasional conscript coming forward. The Death Corps here are going to try and hold this as best as they can. But man, oh man, just looking behind them into that sea of red dead. Good luck to the Imperials today. They're going to need it. More and more Tyranids now trying to find more ways in. There's plenty of other breaches, and as you can see, they're finding them bit by bit. Thankfully, we've got lots of troops on the walls here, just who are able to keep an overwatch, updating the positions of the Tyranid horde to those inside, as more and more try to make their way into these tiny little breaches. Bit by bit, our Kriegsmen are actually just getting buried in Tyranid corpses here. And I don't think they'd have it any other way. They absolutely love that kind of stuff. But the bodies of the Tyranids now are really starting to pile up inside these little breaches. Plenty of little conscripts here trying to make their way forward. But that's a terrifying sight. The Tyranids swarming over the top. Oh my, look over here, even over here, just a tiny little area. It's got so many Tyranid corpses already piled up. The Imperials have only killed 100,000 so far. There's still 880,000 Tyranids out there. The Imperials taken 12,000 losses. Most of them are going to be in the conscripts who keep coming forward. But there is also a little bit of a deflection problem here for the Kriegsmen. You see, these Brood Warriors, the big guys here with the massive size, they've got some really good deflection value on them. Meaning that there's a chance every now and then when the Kriegsmen shoot at them that the bullet could come flying back at them. As you can see back here, look, a couple of these Kriegsmen and a couple of the conscripts are covered in red, meaning they're injured. That's from bullets being deflected back at them. But these breaches are holding up for now as we go through the ruins of a church. This one is a real concerning area for me. This is a really wide area. Means that there's not as much concentrated firepower, and it also means that a lot more Tyranids can get into the area. The natural terrain is also providing a little bit of a siphon here for the defenders, stopping the Tyranids from amassing as many forces as they want. Oh my god, look at this. The Tyranids trying to push round into every breach, as I said earlier, have started now to pool up the blood. And the Kriegers, unfortunately, a couple of Kriegers have drowned here today. But little Timmy can get out his rubber dinghy. Fun for the entire family. Oh my god, that's really deep. But look at this Tyranid horde, man. Just trying to push round. And I think it's official now. I think every orifice of this fortress is now officially under assault. Look at these Kriegers up here. Man, these have got such a good overwatch. Look at this guy. They can literally snipe from up here. That's so good. I love these Leman Russes as well. Just standing behind the lines. Laying in firepower. Making sure that none of them get through. Tyranids, though, they're unrelenting. They're just going to keep pushing in units, man. Look at that. The body piles are starting to get truly insane. We're at 200,000 kills so far. 3,000 defenders have been lost since the surrounding. But it does feel like the Tyranids are making little bits of progress. I mean, they're losing a heck of a lot of units in the process, but my god. They are gaining ground, just little bits here and there. See that we've got quite a few conscripts still pouring out of the defender lines here, trying to keep back the Tyranids. The question is, will the Death Corps be able to hold it when they run out of the conscripts? There's a lot of Brood Warriors still trying to flank around and push in. But this area is actually another major concerning area for me, especially with the constant drowning of troops over here. Yeah, look at this. We're already thinning out massively. The Tyranids here opting for the tactic. Well, fair enough. If we cannot breach the walls with our physical entities, our blood shall flow and burn your feet off. And look at that. It's created a huge gap here in the defense. Luckily, though, for the Imperials, we do have some Death Corps still stood on top of the wall. Though I don't know how long that's going to be for. The Tyranids here now opting to build the bodies right up to the corner. Pretty soon they're going to be able to path onto that wall. I actually think this might be the weak point of the entire defense, you know. If anywhere's going to collapse first, I do predict it's going to be this area here. The rest of the areas have quite nice overlapping fields of fire, like here. The entire line can see these areas. But there's just something about this area in particular. I don't know, it doesn't look like there's much overlapping fire. I mean, we've got cover from that side, but there's virtually nothing from that side because of this little hill in the center. But the Tyranids are also assaulting all these areas, meaning that these guys are going to focus their firepower right into these breaches. And look at this. We're making a triple body pile stack as the Tyranids are rolling down from there. they're finding themselves in these two other little body piles here. That's kind of magnificent. Speaking of magnificent, look at this body pile. Tyranids piling it up high, man. Brood warriors storming over the top, actually making their way in pretty deep there. That's going to get some pretty good deflection values for them. Yeah, the Kriegers are looking a bit beaten up here. Some of them are quite wounded, but the Tyranids' relentless assault continues. Look at them amassed out there. Still 700,000 of them, ladies and gentlemen. 700,000 in this probing attack. The poor beleaguered Imperials here, having barely survived an insane bombardment, now having to man the walls with what few troops are remaining. This is an excellent last stand from the Kriegsmen. And oh look, it finally happened over here. The Tyranids built up enough corpses to finally start pathing on top of the wall. Let's go check out this body lake as well, blood lake as well, because, oh my god, little Timmy, get out your submarine and aircraft carrier. That is insanely deep there. So, the problem with this now is that the Tyranids won't actually be able to path through that either. So, while they have killed the defenders, this area is impathable. That is until, you know, they pile up enough corpses to be able to path through it again, which is seemingly what's starting to happen. Look at this. The corpses are already piling up in the blood lake. The Tyranids here building bridges, building their own walls. This is the truly terrifying thing about Tyranids, man. Just sheer weight of numbers on their side. They can just throw untold billions at a defense like this. But the Kriegers are more than happy to stand there shooting them all day, man. Look at this defense. They've been holding these walls so nicely. Only 16,000 defenders remaining. It does feel like this one is becoming harder and harder to defend here. More and more Tyranids pouring over. I mean, look at this. You can see the body hides pile here. This is the base of the wall. Look at that. It's up to here. Even higher in other areas. The Tyranids, man. Relentless assault. And they are actually on top of this wall. Looks like they're about to also get on top of this one, maybe? Yeah, they're getting pretty damn close. God, them Imperials stood no chance there. So far, so good for the Tyranids and for the Imperials. The Tyranids getting a little bit of a foothold going on this end. But the Imperials have also played a lot of hurt onto them. Quickly getting up to 400,000 kills here. Yeah, that front line's nice. Holding nicely. But yeah, like I said, the two areas of concern. This area here, you can see that the Imperial defense has been thinned out massively. That deflection has done a hell of a job. God, that is just such a terrified sight. See all them boys come over here. Luckily, we've got some lemon Russies over here as well in the defense. This area holding, again, really nicely. Quite strong defense in this area. Not as many Tyranids are pushing round as they are through that gap, though. That's why. But this is a weak point. This is the contention area. Are the Tyranids going to be able to actually push past this gap? God, that was difficult to say. I don't know why. It does actually feel like we've lost quite a few of the Death Corps here. Simply wearing them down in an attrition game. God, the bodies are piled up so high here that they're struggling to even shoot at them, I'm guessing. We're just getting conscripts running over the top. Look at this, a gatehouse closed so the Tyranids can't get in. Yeah, I don't think it matters anymore, guys. God, even this defense over here is starting to take a bit of a pounding. As that Brood Warriors just keep storming their way up these corpse piles. The Tyranids are starting to gain a foothold here within the fortress itself. And that is worrying for the defenders. Only 14,000 of them remaining. They've almost killed half of the entire swarm. But they're holding out for now. Look at these sides, man. Even at the back line here. Technically, this should be like the weakest point for the Tyranids. And look at how many are still pouring into this area. The corpse piles are getting truly ridiculous, man. The Tyranids also still working their way through these boys. They've almost completely cut off this defense. In fact, look at all them bodies rolling in. Oh my god. That's insane. That's so many Tyranids are dying every second. But like I said, they are actually doing it, man. They're gaining these footholds, inch by inch, drop of blood by drop of blood. They are slowly whittling down this Imperial defense. But I don't know where's going to give way first. I do think this might be the weak point. Like I said, that one as well, but it's a dice roll between the two, which is going to give out first. The Imperial defense on this side is really, really thinning out. Like I said, luckily though, we do have all these guys over here, but again, they're starting to take a beating also. Things are getting dicey no matter where you look. Other areas like this look way better defended. Look at these corpse architecture. My god. So many. We're going to have a look at the battlefield after this. But we are coming up to the official halfway mark of the Tyranids here. There it goes. There. Yep, there we go. Officially now, half of the Tyranid army has died. That's a mean feat from the defenders so far of this wrecked and crippled fortress. I'm actually amazed that these troops over here have held out for as long as they can. The Death Corps here, making a valiant last stand, taking it quite literally hundreds of Tyranids out with them. Such is the way of the Krieg, though. No bit of ground is going to be given up easily. If they're going to lay down their lives, they're damn well going to make sure that the Tyranids are too. But ultimately, it might come down just to the troops on the walls defending it. Some of them aren't exactly pathable, like this wall in the middle here. The Tyranids have got no real way to path up to this, other than building up bodies. Oh yeah, the defense is starting to look scattered and broken. This is really nice here, though. This defense has been so solid in this area. Again, I don't think the deflection can really hit them too well. Unlike these other lines. See, the problem here is that some of the deflection is hitting these troops over here and vice versa. So the two lines are feeding off each other. How are the Tyranids doing over here? Okay, so bit by bit, they are making their way through here. Doing it. And you've got to give it to them. They have actually managed to gain a foothold here. The Krieg's defense is faltering ever so slightly. They're taking losses. But I don't know. This is a battle of attrition, and I don't know if it's one that the Krieg... Oh, God. The Krieg can afford to win. I thought for a second then that the Tyranids had actually managed to breach this defense. No, it was just because the camera wasn't zoomed in close enough. But I do think it is getting to that point. Just so many Tyranids are pouring in. What we need to do is we need to sort of kill enough so this flank isn't a problem anymore. Then these guns for the Imperials can start focusing back on the other lines. But at the moment, this has been a really good distraction for the other two gaps in the wall over here. I don't know what is going to happen. This is really insane because... Oh yeah, okay, the Tyranids have actually cleaned out this area. I'm going to go ahead and say this is the first collapse of the fortress here. The Tyranids have officially gained a foothold in the fortress on the, what's this, with the rear left, yeah. We have still got some Kriegers defending, but my god, the defense is virtually non-existent now. The guys up here, luckily for them, they're able to shoot through this wall, so they should be providing good overwatch. That Blood Lake is getting ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, look at all these Tyranid corpses piling up. That is a hell of a lot, man. That is a hell of a lot. I do think, though, yeah, look at this. They're actually breaching on this side as well now. Is this it? Is this going to be the fall of the Imperials? The Tyranids gaining a foothold ever so slightly. I've got a feeling this is going to be one of them things where it's like the Tyranids have made no ground for like the last 20 minutes, and then suddenly there's just going to be a rapid collapse of the lines. I've got a feeling that's how this one's going to end up going. There's just going to be this weird tipping point, and suddenly the Imperial Guard line is going to snap. Because the pressure feels like it's starting to get to the defenders here. Just this slow attrition, the slow loss of life for the Imperials. The diminishing returns on their firepower. It has not been good for them. Doesn't help that a lot of them are at risk of drowning. Look at that blood lake, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go take a dip in this part down here. Oh my god. It goes so deep down here. That's fantastic. Again though, Krieger's doing a really good job of holding this little area. Blood lake here really stopping the Tyranids now from pushing, despite the fact that they've got enough units. Though it does look like they've slowly covered this wall here in corpses. And as they do that, it is going to allow them to path more and more units in. So time is really on the attacker's side here for the Tyranids. The more corpses that they can pile up, the better. And look at this, they've actually breached that line. They're officially coming into the flank now of the Imperial Defenders. The Lemon Russies are being squeezed for their zesty, fruity goodness. Brood Warriors easily ripping through the armor there. We have still got quite a tight defense on this area. So it's not all out yet for the Imperials. They are holding on. Again, another tight-knit defense on this side. Still a lot of troops remaining. But it does look like we are faltering. Oh my god, yes. En masse, we are faltering now. Tyranids having gained another foothold here on the left-hand side. The poor old Kriegers here, stuck in a pincer movement, with nowhere to go but to hold their ground and defend against these insane waves of Tyranids now that are descending upon them. Yeah, look at that breach, man. This is going to be bad. These Kriegers are suddenly going to find themselves outflanked after holding this gap for so long as well. They have just halted so many Tyranids. Yeah, they're going to be under assault now from all angles, as is the rest of the defense, quite frankly. This is going to be devastating. It's going to split the firepower. But there's only 300,000 remaining. The Kriegers are still in a chance with doing this. They've got 8,000 of them. I think these guys here are going to get turned into sushi very slowly but surely. I mean, just look at the sheer weight of numbers that they're going to have to deal with. Brood Warriors still making their way to that front line. Surprised not many of the Tyranids are actually going up the staircase here. Thought more of them would go up the staircase to get some lunch there. Oh, there we go. A couple of them now deciding that they can go up the staircase now that the master has mentioned it. Yeah, that's a nasty breach. Let's go over to this side. What's happened over here? Oh, look at this, though. Tyranids starting to run out of reinforcements to throw at this area. That is really good for the Imperial Defenders. But any second now, the corpses are also going to be as high as the wall. So that's something that the Imperials have to watch out for. That could be a nasty clean-up operation. But there's still plenty of Tyranids trying to get into these two. And now with this breach in the wall, the Tyranids are running rampant over parts of the fortress. Look at this. Going up the stairs, mopping up the final resistances. The Kriegers are stuck in a pincer movement between the two Tyranid forces now. You have still got a little bit of Lehman Russ support there. So that is something. They are going to take out a heck of a lot of them. But one has to wonder, where do these Tyranids go once this part of the fortress falls? They're going to start searching across the other side. That is going to get very, very scary very quickly for these defenders. 7,500 remaining. There's still 250,000 Tyranids, 250,000. The defenders have done excellent work. I really want to see these body piles as well after. I can't help but feel that we've actually built the walls of the fortress back. After the Tyranids breached the fortress walls, they decided to rebuild them. It's just like a remodeling. The house flippers, that's all the Tyranids are. It's just a house flipping program. They're going to sell this fortress on at a profit. I mean, that's quite literally true, actually, yeah. If the Tyranids win here, all the biomass is going to be reclaimed, so it will be an out-and-out win for the Tyranids. Look at that, though. Just the body piles. Like I said, things are going to get very spicy pretty soon for these Imperial Defenders. Oh yeah, look at this. They've actually breached through that wall officially as well now. The defenders have been holding off so well. It's just this one little group that is holding back the entire left flank now from collapsing. And man, oh man, are they being devoured alive? Jesus! I mean, Emperor! Do you know who Jesus is? He doesn't exist in this world. Oh my god, that was kind of insane. And look, here it is. The Tyranid surge now. Right across the concourse. Into the other side of the Imperial defenders, who have just basically watched the entirety of that thing go down. Oh, there's still some actually on the wall up here distracting the Tyranid army. Not too bad though. I don't know who's going to win this though. There's only 200,000 Tyranids remaining. And that number is rapidly dwindling. And the Imperials are pretty kosher in this defense formation over this side. Again, look at this. They've actually built up the body pile to the height of the wall, I think. We've got Imperial conscripts surging forward there, trying to take them on. And here we go. The Tyranids now officially on the wall. Another terrifying thing, that is. Just the fact that the Tyranids can pile up the corpses so high that they can get up onto the fortress walls. Yeah, look at this magnificent surge now from the Tyranid swarm, making its way across the central concourse. But the defenders standing ready and waiting here. Look at that, looking into their fortress now, no longer looking out of their fortress. That is a terrifying sight. I would not want to be in the Imperial shoes right now. 5,500 defenders remaining. 180,000 Tyranids. I mean, that's one hell of a fighting stance that the Krieg have got to pull back here. They have got a really solid defense over that side. But whether they'll actually be able to pull that off is a completely different question. You see the Tyranids trying to pour onto these walls. So far though, I don't know how. They've been holding this staircase really nicely. Again, the Tyranids just not able to push it. Again, I don't know how. The Kriegers here putting on a masterclass of defense. Again, holding back this entire swarm that has just been leveled at them. Tyranids pouring into the breach and the Kriegers standing ready and waiting. Hellball rifles in hand, just laying down that firepower. But, oh god, look, it's happening over here as well. The wall's actually becoming pathable. Any second now, them Tyranids. Yep, there we go. The Tyranids are officially on the wall, able to attack them Kriegers on both sides. Oh my god. On both sides. The insane KORPS architecture here from the Tyranids. They've got 150,000 left. Is it going to be enough to take on the remaining 5,000 Kriegers, though? Looks like they're running a bit thin on Brood Warriors here. We are dealing mainly with Hormagaunts, then. I cannot believe how well this defense has held out. Tyranids have had a right old problem getting through it. But look at these breaches, though, that they've made. Let's see how deep the blood's getting over here. Little Timmy, man. We've really done some work here for little Timmy, for Brittany and the body piles. I mean, look at this one. Brittany is going to be so happy. Lots and lots of KORPS architecture in her name. Little Timmy got his paddling pool. He even got his submarine out, man. It's rare that we get little Timmy's submarine out. But the blood was just deep enough for it. Look at that, the surge coming forward. The Tyranids here trying to build alleyways and bridges out of their own corpses to be able to traverse across this blood effectively. And I mean, you've got to give it to them. They're doing it. Look at this pathway that they've made so far. Again, over this side, they've just built this KORPS architecture. A pathway out of dead Tyranids to get there. Oh god, the defense is looking like it's starting to crumble on this side. Yeah, the sheer weight of numbers now playing against the Kriegers, even despite the tight-knit defense that they've got. We still have got troops on the wall here and there, like over on this side. There's still quite a few, but it's only a matter of time before these corpses get high enough for them to be able to path up to the top. I'm amazed actually that these guys have been left alone. I don't think the Tyranids even noticed that they're up here. That's a bit weird. Look at that though. Some insane corpse building going on. Have the Tyranids... Oh yeah, they've actually been cleaned out of the flank. So all the Tyranids now are going to be trying to pour into this breach here. Absolutely magnificent stuff. What I'm quickly going to do then is we're quickly going to time-lapse this here and get our final results and see, can these few remaining Kriegers here hold out against the remaining 100,000 Tyranid Hormigauds? It's getting nice and close here so we can see all the bodies build up. We'll be back in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe this, but the Kriegers have actually gone and done it. They've actually managed to hold the defense. The Tyranids now coming down to their last 4,000 units. Oh my god, the Kriegers now outnumber them. That's insane. Look at this fortress though. The corpses that have been piled up around this are stupendous. Look at them. They are absolutely monumental. Praise Brittany and her body piles, ladies and gentlemen, because look at these things. And of course, little Timmy was not left unsatisfied this round. Look at this area. The amount of corpses that were piled up in this last stand attempt here by the Kriegers. It's kind of ridiculous. The church here that was left in ruins has been absolutely covered almost. What a fantastic defense here by the Kriegers. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we can't let all these Tyranid corpses sit here. And as always, good things must come to an end. I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out the Chaotic Pinky store. We got some amazingly cool stuff on there. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.